Officials say rains are easing and flooding is subsiding along the Garden route. It caused severe flooding in some towns, forcing the closure of schools, roads and medical facilities. Some residents have been stuck at home. Relief aid is now being distributed to those affected, and our reporter Ronald Masinda is in the area and he joins us now live. Ronald, firstly, tell us about the type of damage that you were able to witness caused by these heavy rains.
Good afternoon, Masakha. Well, there was extensive damage in many parts of Georgia. When we went around earlier today, we saw quite a number of destruction of property, and we also spoke to several people who were experiencing those damages. One lady even said to us that she doesn't know what to do following these heavy rains, as she has pretty much lost everything. She said earlier as well that, November hasn't been the best of months for her, having lost her father, and this was the last thing that she actually needed, as many residents in her part of the neighborhood were escorted with the NSRI also bringing out some of the boats to assist people to get out because the heavy rains were as bad as that. But we also went to a number of other neighborhoods where people were telling us that now it's a time that they need assistance. We spoke to them during that time, saying that they will welcome any sort of food items. We do know that quite a number of organizations are also here to offer some relief. But we did speak to Mrs. Miller earlier on, and this is what she had to say in detail.
The flood came yesterday morning about 7 o'clock, and between 7 and 8 o'clock it was flooded here, flooded. The older houses were flooded. The house opposite us, they couldn't get out of the house. They had to bring boats in to get the people out of the house. Our house went completely flooded. We had to evacuate. So all the people had to evacuate. All the animals, everything had to evacuate. And about 9, 10 o'clock, we could eventually stand on top just to see what's going on. And everything was underwater. The boats were floating in the water. The cars were floating in the water. The river came down very, very, very bad. So everything is flooded. The houses is flooded. We lost basically everything.
There's also the other fact that there are residents who are still stuck in their homes, Ronald. You also spoke to the community policing forum in the area. What did they say about having to help people get out of their homes safely?
Right, I'll come to what you said to me earlier, but also where we are, Masakha, we're at the Garden Route Dam. I mean, this place, back 3 years ago, one of the people that was here earlier on visiting the dam said this place was absolutely dry. The dam was completely dry. He even said that he drove his vehicle on the surface of the dam back then. And he says that this must also be seen as a blessing because the drought did hit the Western Cape several years ago, and that people must also appreciate the fact that there's a lot of water. The dam is currently overflowing, which is a good sign for them. But what we also know during this time, with all the mopping up operations that are taking place, the municipality in Georgia is also trying to fix a lot of damaged infrastructure. We do know that there is a burst pipe that affected water supply. Even when we stay at the moment, Masakha, there is no water, and also electricity has been affected. And people living in the townships where Sipiwe Skap hails from says that they are the worst hit. This is what you had to say earlier.
Ons was hier onder water as gevolg van die groot reën. Soos jy sien, hier is 'n riviertjie wat hier afloop en die mense bly al jare hier. So die mense het al hoeveel keer na die munisipaliteit optogte gehou vir 'n beter toestand om hier uit die nat wêreld uit te kom, maar niks kom daar uit. Ons vra regtig die regering, plaaslike regering en die provinsiale regering dat hulle intree sodat ons mense 'n bietjie 'n beter lewe kan lewe.